wait a minute.
Move over, Teddy Roosevelt. There may be a new stash in the White House. That sweet, sweet stash. Yeah.
Alright, so I was watching The Tonight Show with Stephen Colbert, and my boy Eric Holder was on. You know, the Attorney General of the United States under the Obama administration. Really dope dude. Was like, hey, let's pull back all the craziness that's going around marijuana. Let's pull back all the craziness that's going around, you know, the war on drugs. Let's try to make things a little bit right.
And to fulfill the Supreme Court's historic decision in Gideon v. Wainwright. Now, 50 years ago, last March, this landmark ruling affirmed that every defendant charged with a serious crime has the right to an attorney, even if he or she cannot afford one. Yet America's indigent defense systems continue to exist in a state of crisis. And let's be frank, the promise of Gideon is not being met. To address this crisis, Congress must not only end the forced budget cuts that have decimated public defenders nationwide, they must expand existing indigent defense programs, provide access to counsel for more juvenile defendants, and increase funding for federal public defender offices. And every legal professional, and that includes every member of this audience, must answer the ABA's call to contribute to this case through pro bono service and help realize the promise of equal justice for all.
He wasn't like, you know, a saint, but the dude was one of the most progressive attorney generals that we've had. This guy was on The Tonight Show, and he, you know, said a few good lines, as he usually does.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions announced a few months ago that there was going to be a zero-tolerance policy for people crossing the border of the United States, including asylum seekers, that you will be put in jail, you will be prosecuted, and your children will be separated from you. And it was stated overtly by members of the administration this was meant to be a deterrent, basically to use cruelty as a deterrent. People have said that the Obama administration separated families, and they certainly deported more people than anybody had up to that moment. Is it true that under the Obama administration that families were separated as well?
There might have been family separations, but it was not as a matter of policy. And to the extent that it did happen, there were attempts made by putting these things together. It didn't work out too well, called these family detention centers, so that people who were detained could be with their families. What's different about this policy is, as you said, the administration has made the determination that they want to use this zero-tolerance policy, knowing that this would mean the separation of children from people who are charged with misdemeanor crimes, and use this as a matter of policy, as a way in which to deter people from coming to the United States. It's inhumane, it's cruel, it's un-American, it's inconsistent with who we say we are as a nation.
You've said that Sessions has to...
Oh, this is a really good one. I want you guys to hear this one too.
You actually investigate the abuse of enhanced interrogation techniques toward the beginning of the Obama administration? Because I understand that was a point of division between the two of you.
All right, I wasn't going to go there, but yeah, that was a place where I took a different view. He said that what he wanted to do was to put things behind us and to move ahead. After looking at some of the investigative material around those enhanced interrogation techniques, made the determination that it was incumbent upon me as Attorney General, my Justice Department, to look into that. Now, I don't think this is something that he particularly liked, but he also respected the fact that I was the Attorney General of the United States.
He didn't call up and say, knock it off?
No, and he didn't hold...
No tense conversations in the Oval Office or anything like that?
No, and no press conferences where he is calling me names and belittling. You know?
Okay.
And overall, it was just a pretty good substantive interview, but then this happened.
April Ryan tweeted this. She said, breaking, sources close to Eric Holder, the former Obama Attorney General, says he is seriously considering throwing his hat into the ring for the 2020 presidential bid. General Holder. Wow. Were you just taking the temperature of America just now?
I was just looking to see potential contributors, you know. And cabinet members.
Are you seriously considering throwing your hat into the ring for 2020?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, and what I've said is that I'd make a determination sometime early next year. My focus really now is on 2018, the midterms, and trying to make sure that Democrats take back the Senate, take back the House, and that we do well, importantly, at the state level, so that we're going to be picking half the people right now who will be doing redistricting in 2021. And we have a real problem in this country with regard to partisan gerrymandering. And so I want to make sure that we elect as many people at the governor level, at the state legislative level, so that when 2021 comes, we have a fair redistricting process.
Well, General, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Former Attorney General Eric Holder, everybody.
He's like really direct. And like, you see this little moment here where he's like,
and so I want to make sure that we elect as many people at the governor level, state legislative level, so that when 2021 comes, we have a fair redistricting process.
he's a madman. He's a little bit like me. I really like this. Eric Holder, let me sit down here. All I can say is Eric Holder running for president would be pretty nice. Like when it comes to justice reform and redistricting and local state level, like the meat and potatoes of making a really, really good and equal and fair protection, probably getting us a little bit bang for our buck when it comes to voting, you're gonna want Eric Holder. Him and Obama have made this pact that's been working on redistricting and fighting gerrymandering, but also with these voter ID laws, all these things that are basically giving rights back to the voter. They've been doing that on the grassroots level, and it's really interesting to see. If this guy runs for president, it's gonna be very, very interesting. I think that's gonna change the landscape, push it further to the left.
Sometimes I try to drink my clouds away. Some things I just can't seem to smoke away. The mystery that you once found so attractive has a dark side you may not care to see. So is it over? Are you finished? Did I push you too far away? When I'm sober, you say I'm stronger, and my light, it can shine all day. When I'm sober,
You're not pathetic. You're not pathetic. You are a remarkable human being. You're not pathetic. You have gifts. You have value. You will not die alone. I want to think about this right now. I want to get high. Wait a minute. I am high. Wait a minute. You!
Oh, hey there. You're back again, I see.
I challenge you. You. Do a do! Ow! Oh, oh my god! Oh my god! Oh! Dude, you really mop these floors, and I'm wearing socks, man. You know how...
Well, sort of busy here, looking up Groupon so that I can go on a paint and sip.
Jeez, alright, yeah, I'm gonna do another one. Can I do a redo?
Sure.
I have superpowers. Wait a minute, why did I just start talking out loud just then? No, more importantly, I have super fucking powers. Yeah, this feels good. I think I'm gonna think about this right now. I could think about the other stuff later. Or never at all. Now, what is the most responsible and productive thing to do with newfound superpowers?
Since enough here, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube page. Or, if you really like us, then maybe you could support us on Patreon. Yes, Patreon. Oh, and make a funny comment below, like make like a joke or something. You know, like when they make those like little Reddit comments, and you're like you quote back a joke you found in there. And, you know, you write it verbatim because you think that's funny, and people just read the same thing out loud, but in the comments, and you're like, oh, it's a funny joke, guys. You know, like just comment below, man.